Welcome to the premiere of Iweala, a film inspired by one of Nigeria's most iconic cultural celebrations. I'm talking about Ojude Oba, which of course is about legacy, culture, family. And standing behind this powerful story is AIICO Insurance, a brand which for over 60 years has helped protect families, cultures, dreams, legacies, you name it. My name is Koyinsola Olukoya, the Global Media Girl, and it's such an honor to be your host for tonight. So once again, I say welcome, Ekabo, Emma Bamikalo. Before you go, because this is AIICO, and AIICO is all about protecting what matters most to you. What is one thing that you will never leave unprotected?
Do you want me to say that on camera?
Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
No. The most important thing to me is my family, and I will never leave them unprotected. And I suppose that's where insurance companies come in. You know, life insurance and stuff like that. I never ever leave anything that's important to you, anything that matters, never leave it unprotected. In my case, it's my family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm with a legend and a true thespian, if we do say so ourselves, one and only Owobo Ogunde. I got the pronunciation right, did I?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you look lovely.
Oh, thank you.
You're not careful, you're going to snatch that title called King of Steers at the Ojude Oba Festival.
It's really amazing. It's amazing to be a part of something really special. This is a special movie. You don't get stories. There are quite a lot of stories that are based in Oyo, based in Ibadan, and all those places. You rarely get stories that are based in Ijebu. And the moment I saw the title, Iweala, an Ojude Oba story. I grew up in Ijebu. I used to go to Ojude Oba as a teenager. I used to visit, used to participate. So it's really great to then be in a position where you're telling a story that is a part of your core. It's a part of who you are. You know, most of the time when we tell stories about others. We tell stories that is based somewhere else. They're foreign to you. This story is who we are.
Thank you so much, because you literally answered my first 3 questions in one question. Thank you so much. But I know that you grew up in Ijebu, or you stayed there briefly during your teenage years. Do you know how to speak Ijebu at all? Mo kàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o, mo kàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Ẹ má bínú, ẹ má fi ṣe bínú sir.
Lọ́wọ́ Iweala.
No, Eduro. No. There's a reason I was asking. No, there's a reason I'm asking, because.
Sọ̀jẹ̀bù ń bẹ̀.
No, because mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá mi ṣe nǹkan ní Ìjẹ̀bú. Ṣé ti ready?
Sọ mò ń gbọ́.
Ṣé mo rí kí yín ní Ìjẹ̀bú?
Ọmọ gbẹ́gàn ń dẹ ọ̀tọ̀ tẹ́rẹ̀ kó yè lọ. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ ara mi dédé, ẹ̀wẹ̀ so, mo kí wẹ́n o. Iweala, an Ojude Oba story. Fíìmù wẹ̀ tá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, ẹ̀yin ara mi. Ẹ jáde ẹ wo fíìmù yìí máa wà ní gbogbo sinimá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ẹ bá wá wò ó ẹ ṣeun.
Ojude Oba put me out there, and everybody now seems to think that I'm an icon. I accept it, or I catch him. But I'm just being me. And I'm grateful.
All right. Now, our global icon, you are going to be seeing yourself, on a bigger screen tonight.
Scary. You know, I'll be honest, I mean, it's a cameo, but it means a lot more to me than that, because it just shows that we've taken the Ojude Oba story, and this is just part of it. You know, this movie is about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see. Intrigue, disappointment, tradition. You know, there's a lot that goes on. A lot of people, the world doesn't see what goes on behind the scenes. They just see everybody pull up, 10,000 people immaculately dressed. Yes. They don't realize what goes on behind making, the guys who make those outfits, what it costs and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is different because it's not a documentary that shows you something, and hopefully this is just the first of many. We want to take Ojude Oba and obviously our whole cultural portfolio to the world. it's a currency that we own. Nobody can take it from us. So let's do it.
I love that you said it's a currency that we don't, it's a currency that we can take to any part of the world.
Absolutely. I mean, we've taken Afrobeats. Why can't we take our culture?
This is Gabriel Afolayan. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're outside.
Where's your villa? Where is everything? What happened tonight?
Well, as it is, I have to keep things simple. Yeah. So sometimes the mood is the thing.
Sometimes.
We like to associate with anything great. And the future is always like a dream, really. The future is always like a dream because the future doesn't start in the future. It actually starts now, and then you begin to envision things and all of that. And for us in AIICO, we stand for that because we know that the future of insurance in Nigeria hasn't started really. Yeah, so that's the connection. Yeah.
If there is something that AIICO wants the audience to take home, whenever they go to any cinema nationwide to watch Iweala, what is that thing you want them to take away from it? What is a change you're hoping that this will spark in audiences?
The fact that tomorrow starts now, and then we always have to plan for tomorrow today. I would like everybody to take that home. You can't just, sit down and say, okay, when tomorrow comes. No. You have to plan for what you want your tomorrow to be. And that's what AIICO stands for. We want to plan your future with you. That's why we have, we are into both life and then non-life insurance. We are into ensuring that your future is stabilized.
What is the most fulfilling part of your job, of you being able to tell these stories to audiences, across board?
It's when the audience react to it. Audience is like the last piece of every production. If that stuff is going to be well, with time, with posterity, is the audience. They'll be the one to give you that feeling and vibe to say, okay, this would last long. So it's about the audience. Everything we do is for the audience. Yeah.
All right. And finally, before you go, because this is for AIICO, and AIICO is about legacy, AIICO is about family. What is one thing that you would never, ever, ever in this life leave unprotected?
Live unprotected?
Yes.
That'll be my family. Pretty much. I'll never leave them unprotected. That's it.
This bundle of talent, as your life partner, how do you feel? And, how do you feel about it, her achievements so far, and this one as well? How does that make you feel?
Honestly, very proud.
As a sponsor and as a husband.
Well, as a husband, I'm very proud. I know when the vision started and what she wanted to, the story she wanted to tell. And the vision was really around, telling the good about our culture as a country. I think there's a lot of, bad news. We get too much about Nigeria, but I think now the story about some of our culture, some of the good things, and the wonderful things, the wonderful people we have, I think it's a wonderful way to, to do a business and to do, use your talents. Yeah.
So now I'm switching from husband to the MD now. Now, this is of course, this is not the first time AIICO is going to be, supporting the entertainment industry. You are active in the entertainment industry as well. But this particular one, this is the first time a former president is going to be seeing like your film ahead of time. How did that make you feel, for AIICO, when as AIICO, like as brand partners of this powerful story, seeing the former president's reaction? How did that make you feel as the MD, as AIICO itself, like from your POV, we want to know.
I think, even though the executive producer is my wife, I've not seen the movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm like everyone else here. And that was intentional, so even the story, she kept a lot of it from me, and I didn't want to know. But I think getting the private viewing for the former president, first of all, he really honored my wife and honored all of us by, providing that kind of support. We love that he loved the movie, and that actually gives us a lot of. I'm excited to see it. I think for AIICO, We have a very young workforce, as you know, and the creative industry is a significant part of the Nigerian population, and I don't think we're actually doing enough. We're doing it a little at a time, but this gives us at least an opportunity to get a sense of how we can play in the creative industry.
Anytime I see any project of yours, I always want to watch it because it's always worth it. You are very good at what you do. And now, Iweala, what brought about this vision? What prompted this? Why did you decide, you and the producers, the executive producers, why did you decide to tell such a story?
Okay, so I like unique stories. I like to touch on territories that people haven't dabbled into so much. And when the script of the first draft of Iweala was shared with me, I saw that it touched on the Ojide Oba celebration, and I was like, nobody has done a film like this. I've seen a couple of the documentaries and clips, and I was like, okay, this is nice. But when I now read, I saw that it was so much more layered. Even beyond that, he had a lot to do with family, the essence of carrying the name of the family, the beauty of culture, and then there was even the element of love and togetherness in a family. I mean, there were so many intriguing things in the story. Then it is layered against fashion and the Ojide Oba itself. So I was like, man, there's so much to work with here. I'll do this.
So AIICO, we're all about legacy. What is one thing as a director, as a filmmaker, what is one thing that you will never ever leave unprotected?
I would never leave what?
Unprotected.
I think the most important thing to me is my family. And yeah, I will never leave my family unprotected.
Well, this isn't really the first time. AIICO is always been associated to great things, powerful things. But personally, I have this kind of connection with Iweala because of the background of the story. I'm an Ijebu born. Yes.
Eweso Boyemi.
Eweso. So I am Ijebu born, and Ojide Oba has always been, a thing for us in Ijebu land. And when this project came up, I was like, oh, wow. And I'm actually interested in knowing the story behind. We just grew up knowing that, okay, Ojide Oba is the thing and all of that. But it's a good thing to actually understand the story behind, the event.
I am here with the popular Mrs. Fat, but I'm not going to introduce her like that. I'm going to introduce her as Yeye Otumba Olawumi Fajemi Loku. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you? First of all, I will have to compliment your outfit. You look stunning.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, ma'am. Congratulations on this. You're known for the last film you did. That was Afamefuna. That might not have been the last, but that's the one I know of. And that also showcased culture. Now this one is also showcasing culture. Before I ask you, right, you have the former president, that is His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, at your premiere, your pre-screening. How was that for you? As a filmmaker, over the years you've been putting in the work, and now you had the former president at your screening. How did that feel like?
Very humbling, very humbling. Thank you so much for the compliment. It was very humbling that the former president came. He didn't know what to expect. He couldn't tie it all like, okay, Iweala, Ojide Oba story. What's that all about? But he loved it. He loved the angle. And so, yes, very humbling that me from a very humble background, that the former president could love the work that we did. So, yeah.
Why was it important for you to tell the Iweala story? What was it so important for you to tell this story?
Yes, extremely important because there's so many festivals in Nigeria that no one is talking about. So yes, we felt, you know what, where do we go next? Because after Nwa Boy, we're like, okay, where do we go? Where do we go? And so we were like, you know what? We're going to talk about festival. And obviously, Iweala was the one, Ojude Oba, we felt will represent all festivals in Nigeria.
Well, what was the most fulfilling part of telling the story for you?
Finishing. A lot of intrigues, a lot of things happened on the set, but we're just so happy, so joyful that we could finish it. And obviously, we put in, we had to raise the funds was not easy at all. So I'm so grateful to God that we could bootstrap and finish the project.
Yeah, Tumba, you said something about raising funds, which brings me to my next question. Filmmakers have been asking, for sponsors. We need more money in the industry. We need more sponsors that believe in our dreams. And for you, AIICO has come, into this to sponsor. Real quickly, what has this sponsorship, what has it unlocked for you, in telling the story? And what has it opened for you, even after now, that, because AIICO has done this, we are able to do this as a production and we can do more?
Okay. So, like I said, funding wasn't easy, but I just want to give a shout out to AIICO and so many of our other sponsors as well. We are hoping that more companies can support indigenous storytelling, right? And not just about, we are going to sponsor, I don't want to call the names, but the very superficial TV shows. So we are hoping that they can sponsor more indigenous, real-time stories.
I think for me as an individual, if I look at, AIICO, as part of our team in AIICO, I will put, faith and God first. And of course, family is important for you to have stability back home. And of course, work. And putting that into your craft and what you do on a daily basis. I think for me, this movie, even though I've not seen it, I do think that it reflects those values and those principles. I have heard some of the soundtrack, and I think the soundtracks are pretty good. They're pretty good. And I think, there appears to be, stories around reconciliation, I believe, and of course the trade is a business family, sewing and the tailoring business. Of course, the festival of Ojude Oba, of course, the people of Ijebu as well. I do look forward to seeing those three areas reflected in the movie and hopefully seeing some wonderful acting. I think we do have some wonderful actors in there. I've met some of them out there. I look forward to the experience and I hope everyone else does as well.
I think when I saw the trailer and I heard you speaking to a village girl in the film, I was like, oh boy, it's ifi bread ko omobìnrin ilo mi obelo. I would so be like, what you did in the film. I've not seen it yet, but first of all, I want you to tell us your name in the film, your character. Tell us about your character in this film, real quickly.
Well, my character is a guy who is a returnee from the UK, and he's like a very, very strongly non-Nigerian returnee. And he kind of serves as a counterpoint to the culture, because the movie is about culture. So he's like kind of facing against that in some kind of way. And of course, he goes after the local beauty who interests him, catches his eye, and I think that's all I'm going to see.
Of all the women in the UK, you did not see anyone. Is this local one that has somebody?
By visa, please. No be by nationality. The heart wants what the heart wants.
And I can't wait to see, your brilliant performance in this as well. What drew you to this story? Because it's one thing for them to say, oh, I see you in this role, I want you to act it. But it's another thing for you to, take the script and maybe it resonates with you. Did any part of this resonate with you? Maybe your character, maybe the story itself, and do you know how to speak Yoruba at all? Do you know how to speak your language at all?
I do know how to speak Yoruba, and I think it's important for, I'm not at like incantation level Yoruba, but I've always spoken Yoruba since I was a kid. That's what my mom mostly spoke to us and everything. And I think it should be preserved because it's all dying out.
I would say that what resonated with you the most, your character or the story?
The story, because my character, I'm not necessarily in agreement with my character, no matter how well I played it. But I find the cultural aspects to be very interesting. This is how you preserve culture. It's through art that you preserve culture. You can't do it through any other way. So yeah.
And now, finally, before you go, because this is AIICO and we're all about legacy, what is that one thing that you will never, ever, ever in this life leave unprotected?
Is your individual heart. That's how you carry on culture. That's how you carry on messages of what's important for legacy and all that kind of stuff. You preserve your heart, you pass it on.
Did you know that our executive director is a Jagun Balogun? Did you know? Now you do. Good evening, sir. Oloye. Yes, sir. So now I want us to talk about this film, Iweala. As an executive director, why did you think that, this story is a perfect fit, for AIICO, to come in and support and sponsor? Because this story is about family, it's about legacy, it's about our culture. So why did you think that, it's a perfect fit? This partnership is a perfect fit.
Yeah, if you look at AIICO Insurance, we are 63 years old this year. That's not a joke. Some of the companies that we started together, some of them they are no longer in existence. Let me put it that way. So, and something that is working for AIICO is family, heritage, family belief, and support. And you also remember that we started like agency, of American International Group. So, and when you're talking about agency focuses more on individuals, family, how to support family in case of the death of the breadwinners. So anything that has to do with culture, family support, togetherness, growing family ties. So we always like to be part of it. So that's why we are supporting this film.
And did you hear that the former president of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo, was at the pre-screening of this film? Did you hear about it?
Yeah, I was told. But if you also look at the personality of Baba Olusegun Obasanjo, he also believes in tradition. Yeah. So and he supports anything like Yoruba heritage. So I'm not surprised that he was part of it, but it's also like an inspiration to people like us, and that's why AIICO is also supporting similar ideas.
And if it's not Nollywood's finest actress and filmmaker, then who is it? I'm sitting beside the one and only Iweala Ajao. Like, you look so good tonight. I was not expecting anything less. I mean, it's Iweala Ajao, expect premium. But real quickly, I want you to tell us about Iweala. I want you to tell us about your character, right? And if there's any similarity between Iweala Ajao and that character.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Iweala Ojude-Oba because the movie is all about Ojude-Oba, how they put Ojude-Oba together to become what it is today. And I feel it's about oneness, about love, about tradition, about culture, and about unity. So family coming together, friends coming together, and celebrate oneness, celebrate one another. Basically, that is what Ojude-Oba is all about within Ijebu people, within Yoruba people, within Ijebu land. Yeah, and my character in this, I played the role of Asinuke in this movie, and I'm a wife to a billionaire. We live in Germany, and after 10 years, we decided to come home to celebrate Ojude-Oba, and we just wanted to, to dress glamorously, like,
to go all out because we actually miss Ojude Oba. And the tailor, boom, the tailor disappointed us from nowhere. And I was just, and I was just everywhere. I was devastated. I was sad. I had to brought out that my, you don't know where I come from. In where I come from, they don't do this, they don't do this shit, things like that. So basically, I'm a wife of a billionaire in Ojude Oba.
Having your film being watched by the former president of Nigeria, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I sat beside him, I took pictures with him, we made videos, we danced with him. I mean, it was it was so amazing. The feeling, I can't put the feeling together. It was just amazing. Amazing feeling, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come June 12th. Please go to a cinema near you and watch Ojude Oba Iweala by Come On Naija. Come on, guys, go to a cinema near you and watch Ojude Oba Iweala. Bless you, you won't be disappointed at all because it's a beautiful story, well put together and directed by Captain Dexy. Watch out, guys.
All right, so I have with me our very beautiful brand manager. Without makeup, you can see how her skin is popping, right? How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine, thank you.
I want you to introduce yourself properly, in your local dialect. I know that you can do it. Are you ready for me? Let's go.
Orúkọ mi ni Olúrẹ̀mí John. Mo jẹ́ brand and event manager.
Kí ni brand and event manager ní Yorùbá?
Brand and event manager for AIICO Insurance.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask why it was so important to collaborate with Iweala. Why was it important for AIICO to collaborate? I want to hear from your point of view because as the brand manager, your point of view is also very, very, very important, right? And I want to hear it.
So beyond the business, AIICO is a brand that likes to celebrate culture, our tradition. The Iweala, it's a story that is tied to Ojude Oba, and Ojude Oba is a very traditional festival that started years before even our forefathers were born. So AIICO celebrates culture, tradition, and why not? So, people are going to know the real story behind Ojude Oba. People are going to know the story behind why the festival is very important to the people of Ijebuland, not just Ijebuland, but Yoruba. So it's something that I'm even looking forward to because I hear Ojude Oba, it has become like an annual festival that everybody's fashion and everything you can think of. So beyond that, I want to know the culture. I want to know the origin of why we celebrate this festival.
I want to